Hello, everyone, and welcome to this next installment of Child Life in Action COVID-19. In this series, we are interviewing child life specialists to discuss the impact coronavirus has had on their work and some of the unique, creative, and innovative ways they are adjusting to the new demands this situation creates, both personally and professionally. I'm Megan Roloff, Director of Member Engagement and Partnerships for ACLP, and today I'm pleased to be joined by Caitlin Leary. I'm going to turn it over to Caitlin to introduce yourself, where you work, and what your role is.
So my name is Caitlin Leary. I have been a child life specialist since 2007. I have been here at Yale New Haven Hospital for almost 12 years, and I've been in the same placement the whole time. I've been in the Pediatric Primary Care Center. So we are a large hospital-based pediatric primary care center that serves the greater New Haven community. We see well child visits, so birth all the way to 21-ish. And then we see urgent visits, so strep, suture removal, that type of a thing, yeah, wound changes. So I am attached to the hospital. I do cover outpatient as well. We sort of do a rotating backup pager here in our program. So I do have connection with the rest of the team, but I am technically kind of like an off-site person.
Got it. Now, the reason I was so excited to talk to you today is because you started and host a large, active COVID-19 child life focused Facebook group. And I've been blown away by the amount of activity, the resources coming through that group. It's been truly incredible. And just kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit about that. So to start, what inspired you to get that group going?
So I have two little kids, and so I have not a whole lot, as you can imagine, of quiet time. So I really value my my shower time, my thinking time.
Yeah.
So I've been calling this my shower idea because I get all these, I have my cup of coffee, then I get in the shower and I'm like starting to get energized and I think about my day. And so I can be a little bit overly ambitious during this, 15 minutes of time. So I started thinking in the shower, I've seen all these amazing resources that have been coming out really, really quickly for teachers to help their kids virtually, and for parents who are now at home and sort of presented the task of teaching their children during the day. All these resources, pages after pages after pages of activities that you can do with your kids. I thought to myself, this child life needs this kind of I got your back community, like we're in this together. I'm going to help you. You're going to help me. And we just need to have one place to go and see if you can find what you are looking for, get a little support, vent if you need to, and kind of work through it together with, our colleagues across the country. And we're all in a unique situation. And what makes this particularly interesting to me is that, certain areas of the country are further along on this journey than other parts of the country. So I was thinking, why can't we learn from each other? There's no reason to sort of reinvent the wheel when other people are currently going through it or have gone through it. Know about the types of services that you can provide in these kind of, pandemics and situations, and what does that look like? So that's kind of where I got my inspiration, I guess.
Well, wonderful shower idea. And a quite ambitious one. That the group has gotten quite large. There's a ton of activity on there. Were you expecting it to get this big?
No, definitely not. I did reach out to some private practice child life specialists, child life mom, Shani. She was amazing. She sort of put some blasts out there. So I credit her with a lot of, the member requests. And I added all of my child life team and everybody that I knew. And I just said, invite. I really did not think we were going to get over 1,500 people though. So once I started seeing all the requests coming in, I got really excited, and I kind of thought to myself, all right, I need to make a post and ask for help, because there's no way I can possibly manage this by, myself at all. So
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is active group. I mean, it seems like it's 24/7 almost.
yeah.
How do you even go about approaching managing a group like that?
Well, I really wanted it to be 24/7 because, again, we are in different time zones, and so I go to bed really, really early, and I get up really early. So I didn't want the group to not, you know, have hours that I wasn't awake. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So I put out sort of a blast about, needing help, and I got a lot of really great offers, and I have 7 mods who are really, really great, and they're from all over the country. We have Alex, she's from and Canada. So Alex is from Canada, Tiffany's from Mississippi. We have Kia from Chicago. Kara is from Michigan. Sarah is from Wisconsin. Leanna is from California. And Mariella is from Texas. And I didn't know these girls at all before this. So they've been amazing. They have a lot of really good ideas, and they do just as much as I do, if not more. So it's a team effort.
That's really incredible. And you and I were talking about this before we started recording, but you don't end up in child life if you're not creative, flexible, rise to the occasion type of person. And so it's wonderful to see that happening organically in the child life community. So, I mean, even now that you have this support group around you to help manage the group, it's a really active group. And you've talked a little bit about, your home life, your work life, and those competing demands as well. I'm curious how all that balances.
Yeah. I think, if you've been in this field for a while, it's just kind of second nature to compartmentalize and use your time wisely. So I usually kind of go through Facebook in the morning, and I look for any webinars that I might think are interesting or resources, and I might save them and then kind of quickly share them throughout the day. I really don't spend my work time on it. I might go on at lunch if I'm in my office, just to sort of do some updating or approve post requests, things like that. And then I do it a little bit at night. So it's really not that challenging. The girls that moderate, we're in all different time zones, and we have a couple of private practice child life specialists, and we had one that was in quarantine, so she had some downtime. So we all are kind of managing together and finding little bits of time. So it's worked pretty well, actually.
All right. One of the things I think we're starting to hear in the community is that people are experiencing COVID-19 overload, that you're talking and thinking about it all day at work, and then it's all that's really in the news anymore. It's all that people's personal conversations are about. And then with managing the group as well, I'm just wondering if you have any tips or things that have worked for you to help kind of take care of yourself, maybe not get so overloaded, burnt out, because that's something we're starting to hear more and more from child life specialists, that it's just coronavirus all the time. And,
and it's emotional.
A mental break from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I am fortunate in that my day-to-day practice has gotten slower, but it hasn't changed a huge amount. Not as much as my colleagues who are inpatient, who are working with adults, or who might be on different floors, or their entire clinics have been canceled. We still are seeing children under 2. Of course, we don't want in a year, 18 months, to have a huge population of under-vaccinated children. So we are still seeing kids under 2 for their well child appointments, very important. And then we are still seeing kids that are sick. So I am still, it's not as hectic. We typically see anywhere between like 130, 150 kids a day. Right now we're seeing maybe 50 kids a day. So there's still plenty for me to do, and it's not working with COVID patients all day. And it's not, coming up with COVID resources. I have a little binder, and I have that for parents who have asked me about how to talk to their kids about it. But it's not something that I'm sort of immersed in all day, every day. That certainly helps. I think if I were in a different position, it would be exhausting. Absolutely. To sort of have it, in your face all the time. It's a challenge for everybody right now. I'm also the kind of person, my coping style is, the more information, the better. So I feel more in control when I feel like I know what's going on, what's coming. We're preppers. We prep kids. I like to be prepped too, and I like to prep myself. So any kind of information that I can get my hands on, I like that. For me personally, that is comforting. So it hasn't been too much. We all know burnout is a very real thing in child life, and when I leave here, I go home and I spend time with my boys and my husband, and hang out on Zoom with my brothers and my mom, and those kinds of self-care things. Just kind of day to day, one step at a time. Yeah.
The Zoom family meetings have become popular with our family as well.
Yeah.
It's never something I thought would happen, but my grandparents are on Zoom now. It's fantastic.
It's great. We crave connection, and Zoom provides that. And, that's what this group provides too, really, is connection to people who understand what we're going through, and who can sort of give us a little bit of support and prep us, prep each other for what's coming down the line. And it's been amazing. The quality of the resources has been spectacular. I'm so impressed by everything I've seen. And, I think I know these resources are out there. We all know that they're out there, but they don't get shared as much as maybe they should be getting shared.
I agree.
And so how do we sort of change the way that we practice so that we are really sharing each other's resources and not, being worried about, getting credit for our own work? And of course, people should get credit for their own work, but they also should share it, because there are programs that have 1-2 people out there, and there are specialists who haven't been practicing for a long time. So all of these things contribute to, what we can provide to children and families. And that's why we're all in this. So,
I personally have been blown away by the quality of the resources and the quantity and things being made by programs, by individuals. Some child life specialists out there with graphic design skills that are truly incredible.
I know. And I always joke, I tell people all the time, I'm probably the least artistic child life specialist that there ever has been. And so I don't pretend to be able to make these creative things. I leave it to these girls. They are amazing. These graphics are amazing, and they're creative, and just really sort of thinking out of the box. And how can we provide services in a completely different way? How do we make this work for right now? We can't provide what we want to provide on a day-to-day basis because of the limitations of COVID.
Right.
PPE, but that hasn't stopped people. And I love that. The out of the box thinking has been really amazing.
Well, and like you were saying, for smaller programs that maybe don't have the time or resources to have someone spend part of their day creating these handouts, creating videos. There have been some beautiful videos with people channeling their inner Mr. Rogers, and it just makes my child life soul so happy. And for programs that don't have the time, the resources, whatever it may be, to create those things themselves, it's fantastic to have a platform to share those. As you know, and I think many in the community know, ACLP is trying to gather as many of these things as well and share them. We're particularly interested in the things created by child life specialists. We see this as, yes, a challenging time, but also in many ways an opportunity for child life that let's show the world what we've got,
Yeah,
because this is affecting everyone in every aspect of their life. Who better to explain that than Child Life?
exactly. I completely agree. I completely agree. I think it's been very unexpected and very positive. So,
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I so appreciate you making the time to have this conversation and share what you've been doing with the broader Child Life community. Hopefully, you'll get another flood of group join requests.
yeah, hey, that would be great. That would be great. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the more the merrier.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, stay healthy, you, your family, your team. On behalf of everyone at ACLP, we're thinking about you and all of our Child Life colleagues during this, and what we can do to help and support. So just thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for your interest in the group, and thank you for being part of the group. It was so exciting to see you there. I was like, I recognize that name.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you again. And everyone else, we will see you for the next Child Life in Action.